In the grand theater of Korean entertainment, where every glance is analyzed and every silence interpreted, few stories have drawn as much fascination, speculation, and whispered curiosity as the one surrounding Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo. Two names that shine individually. Together, they form a constellation that fans cannot look away from. This is not merely a tale of two stars. It is a chronicle of admiration that turned into intrigue, of coincidence that began to look like fate, and of subtle hints that grew into a legend of their own. The stage was set years ago, long before their names were ever linked in rumor or report. Song Hye Kyo was already the reigning queen of Korean drama, an actress whose grace transcended the screen, from the heart-wrenching tenderness of Autumn in My Heart to the fiery resilience of Descendants of the Sun. Lee Min-ho, on the other hand, was the new Prince of Hallyu, rising to fame through Boys Over Flowers and The Heirs, commanding both screen and stage with the effortless confidence of a generation's leading man. They had never worked together. They had never shared the same screen. Yet, as their careers rose like twin flames, the public began to notice something. A pattern of mutual admiration, fleeting but powerful. It began quietly, almost unnoticeably, with Lee Min-ho's interviews. When asked which actresses he admired, he often mentioned Song Hye Kyo, not in passing, but with a tone of genuine respect, almost reverence. He once described her as timeless, saying that her performances carried a kind of elegance that few can imitate. Those words were enough to set off a spark among fans, who began to wonder, was this simply admiration, or the first note of a deeper connection? For a while, the story rested in silence, until a new wave of whispers came. The two were reportedly seen attending similar brand events, sometimes within the same week, sometimes even in the same city abroad. Photographs surfaced from different angles, never showing them together, but always suggesting proximity. When one appeared at a fashion gala in Paris, the other was spotted at the same venue hours later. It was coincidence, perhaps, or destiny playing a careful game. Then came the era of online breadcrumbs. In the world of celebrity, where social media is both mirror and mask, fans began connecting clues, Instagram likes, mirrored captions, and similar travel backdrops. When Song Hye Kyo posted a quiet sunset from Milan, Lee Min-ho shared a dawn sky from the same city days later. To the casual eye, it was nothing. But to fans, it felt like conversation through light and distance, a coded message between two souls who knew the language of subtlety. The rumor mill spun faster after the 2021 Baeksang Arts Awards. Though seated apart, cameras captured the briefest moment, Lee Min-ho's gaze shifting in her direction during the applause, a smile barely visible, restrained yet unmistakable. That clip, slowed down and replayed countless times, became viral fuel. The internet crowned it the look, and from that moment the narrative refused to die. Journalists began to ask. Agencies denied. "They are not in contact," said one spokesperson. "They admire each other professionally." Yet the more they denied, the more the mystery deepened. Because every time the rumors began to fade, something, an event, a gesture, a quote, would resurrect them. In 2022, a well-known fashion magazine dropped a bombshell. It featured a joint cover concept, a digital edition showcasing imagined pairings of Korea's most iconic stars. Among them was Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo, styled in complementary tones, gazing in opposite directions yet perfectly aligned in the frame. The image went viral. Fans didn't just see art. They saw possibility. They saw what could be, and perhaps what already was. Months later, Song Hye Kyo gave an interview, reflecting on her views about love and companionship. "I believe," she said softly, "that real connection doesn't need noise. When you understand someone silently, it's stronger than words." It was a simple sentence, but it resonated deeply, especially when Lee Min-ho, days later, shared a post captioned, "Silence often speaks the loudest." Coincidence again, or choreography of the heart? By 2023, the whispers turned into full-blown reports. Anonymous insiders claimed they had been in contact for a long time, communicating privately through mutual acquaintances. Neither confirmed nor denied it. But then a curious thing happened. Lee Min-ho followed one of Song Hye Kyo's stylists online, sparking an explosion of theories. Was it professional courtesy, or a subtle acknowledgement of closeness? The year 2024 brought what fans would call the soft confirmation. Both stars were seen attending events in Japan, separately as always, but this time the timing was too precise to ignore. On one evening, Song Hye Kyo was photographed leaving a restaurant in Tokyo. The next morning, Lee Min-ho appeared at the same venue for a private shoot. The internet went ablaze with side-by-side comparisons of lighting, table settings, and even floral arrangements. Coincidence had begun to lose its credibility. Then came the most haunting hint of all. During a fan event in Seoul, Lee Min-ho was asked what kind of woman inspired him now. He paused, smiled faintly and replied, "Someone who has seen everything, the light and the storm, and still stands beautifully." A week later, Song Hye Kyo's stylist posted a behind-the-scenes photo with the caption, "Grace after the storm." It was, as always, silent poetry written in parallel. Today, as 2025 unfolds, the legend of Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo remains unwritten yet undeniable. No official statement. No public sightings together. Just the endless rhythm of speculation that has lasted nearly a decade. An invisible thread that connects their worlds through admiration, artistry, and timing too precise to dismiss. In a world where love stories are often loud and fleeting, theirs exists in the quiet spaces, between headlines, between words, between two hearts that may never need to confirm what the world already suspects. Whether truth or fantasy, one thing is certain: their rumored connection has transcended gossip. It has become part of Korean pop culture's modern mythology, a narrative of two stars orbiting each other, their paths never colliding, yet always glowing brighter in each other's presence. And so the story continues, unresolved yet eternal. Because some stories, the greatest ones, are not written in ink or spoken aloud. They are lived in moments, hidden in glances, and remembered in silence. The legend of Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo, begun with admiration, built upon coincidence, and carried by whispers, remains one of the most enigmatic sagas in the glittering realm of fame. The world still watches, still waits, wondering if the final chapter will ever be revealed. That year, Tokyo became the center of the mystery. Both actors were seen in Japan separately, but within the same time frame. Their schedules, when cross-examined by fans, overlapped almost perfectly. Rumors spread that they were both brand ambassadors for the same luxury label and had attended a closed dinner event. No photos surfaced. No confirmation ever came. But one anonymous attendee described the atmosphere as charged, hinting that the two stars had at least shared the same space for the first time in years. Then came the final twist. At the year's end, Song Hye Kyo appeared in a minimalist photoshoot. The photographer, when asked about the creative concept, said, "We were inspired by quiet confidence, by the idea of two souls meeting after years apart." Fans couldn't help but notice that the same photographer had shot Lee Min-ho just a month before. Now, as 2025 unfolds, the rumors live on, not in tabloids but in subtler ways. Lee Min-ho recently appeared in an interview where he spoke of maturity, saying, "The older I get, the more I understand the beauty of people who carry history in their eyes." Around the same time, Song Hye Kyo shared a reflective post. "Every meeting in life leaves an echo. Two statements, two hearts, two echoes that seem to answer one another. No official confirmation has ever surfaced. No photo has ever proven the connection. And yet, their names remain linked, carried forward by a current that refuses to fade. Because sometimes, the greatest stories in the world of fame are not the ones declared. They are the ones that live in the space between truth and longing. And so, the story of Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo continues, an unfinished sonnet, a legend whispered by time. Perhaps one day the truth will surface. Or perhaps it already has. In every unspoken word, every quiet parallel, every shared silence that the world has learned to read like poetry. Their story, real or imagined, remains what it has always been, timeless, magnetic, and hauntingly beautiful.